Okay, I'm going to review with you a little bit for the Excel exam. So, one of the tasks that you're going to have to do is, type in some row labels and column labels. Okay, so this is a row, going number, the numbers are, and the columns are the letters, right? So, in this case, we had typed in this title here on this 15 sheet. And then what we did to center that was select, a row where we wanted it centered and click Merge and Center. This is the font that we had. Is, if you want to change font size and format. We did the same thing here. I'm going to uncheck Merge and Center. And then notice that it's, all the way at the left. So then highlight the cells that you want to merge and center in. And do that. So you're going to have to merge and center some titles. You'll have to type some title or some column labels. And then in this case, we just typed out information. Notice that it's just the amount. These are in counting format. If I just put into general, then notice it gets rid of the commas and all that. So this is how you change the format of the cell, depending on what it tells you to do. Counting will put the dollar sign there. I'm just going to put a comma back in here like it was. Okay. If you want to increase or decrease how many decimal places that there are, you would just use this button here that tells you to increase or decrease things. To do formulas, you click in the cell that you want formulas. And we do this here. In this case, we're just adding this row here to get total. So I'm going to click on the formula bar and I'm going to choose sum and then click OK. And then it comes up with this function arguments box. I'm going to move this out of the way. Now I want it to tell it, I might drag, left click and drag where I want it to add, and then just click OK. And that'll give us sum here. Now the rest of these are the same formula, except for they are using different rows. So I can use the fill handle, which is not this plus sign, but this one, the bottom right hand corner, and drag down, and it will adjust. Notice that it did anything, but if I delete these formulas here, it will adjust the formula for us. If I drag that down, it'll automatically adjust the rows to B5 to E5, B6 to E6. And this is the range. The colon separates the range of cells. Okay, so cell style here is, if you want this to be a certain format, then you can click on the format option and then go to format cells. And again, you can do this here. I'm going to go back to cell styles here, and then notice that these have total option, which puts the line above, one single line there above and double lines below that. Okay. Now if I wanted to do, I missed that cell, so I'm going to go back here and then pick my total, and that'll do that for that. Okay. So different cell styles. If you want to select the whole table or whole Excel option, you can go to cell styles, and you can pick different options that would change the whole table. But I'm going to click off of that. Change the cell style of this. All right, so one thing you're going to have to use is an absolute reference. So if you click here, this formula, the percent of total sales is, in this case, the total for Northeast divided by total sales. Okay. Let me delete these other formulas first. So I'm going to type in an equal sign here because it says it's a formula up in the formula toolbar. And then I'm going to take this cell, which is the total divided by the total sales, and then I want this to be an absolute value because I'm going to fill this formula all the way down, or at least all the way down to here. So I want to keep this cell constant in my formula. So you can type a $ in front of the F or in front of the A, or while you have this up, if you press I'm going to press, I'm going to put the $ here and the $ here, and then hit that, okay? Again, that you want this as a percentage format, so that I chose percentage up here, and then I chose percentage, and then you can go out to how many decimal places that you want that, okay? And then I can fill this all the way down, and then that will automatically adjust to the next F5 cell. It'll take this number divided by the same cell, the total sales, F8. Now it's taking F6 divided by F8. Now it's taking F7 divided by F8. This cell I did we did a trend. We did spark lines. I'm gonna get rid of. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to remind you how to do the spark lines. So if you go to the insert menu, and then you have an option for spark lines, which is like basically a little chart. And if you click on that, I chose the line. It wants to know the range. So if I wanted to show it how it increased by range, then it's going to take H. It's going to put in H for B4 to E4, the range of spark lines. And then you can change the color, the marker, little dots. You can change that. Okay. Now you can fill this as a formula and drag it down, and it'll automatically adjust to the next column there, the spark lines, which is nice. So here we inserted a table and chose a column table with the title and different formats here as far as the x-axis and y-axis. To insert charts, first you select the data that you want to chart. So I want these to be labels and these to be some titles also. So I'm just going to highlight the data that I want to be in the chart. And then you can click on recommended charts and it'll show you options for the charts. And I think this looks nice. So I'm going to click OK here. And then you can move around your chart where you want it. You can use the chart styles for different formats depending on what it tells you to chart. And then as far as changing chart title and location of things, you can change that. And then you can use, formatting tools for the style, the color, all kinds of different options with your chart as far as where you want your labels to go. You can switch row and column data if you wanted that. So this is by quarter, this is by location. You can, if you want this to be in its own page, you can move it to a new sheet. And it'll go to its own sheet. And that sort of thing here. So I'm going to put it. So, this is some of the things you can do with the charts as far as working at that. If you change a number here, it will change automatically your chart for you, even though it's on a new sheet. It'll still adjust your chart. Okay, if you wanted to change column widths, maybe you wanted this to be a little bit larger, then you can drag it up here to do the column widths, and it'll show you up at the top what the width is. Or you can set the cell style, cell width in your settings of the cell. And same thing for the rows. You can drag here or set in the settings of the row. If you wanted to insert a row, usually I'll just highlight the row by clicking it where I want it, and then if you right click it, insert, it'll insert a row up above that. Okay, it's not where you want it, undo and go back and do it the other way. You can also insert it through the insert menu. Same thing for columns. If I want to insert a column, I could highlight this and go to insert, and that would insert a column to the left. Okay, so now if you're done with everything, you want to set it horizontally centered and vertically centered and insert a footer with the right layout. So if you go to your page layout option and click on this little drop down box, page setup, you want it to fit to a page, and your header footer, if we go to custom footer, and right now mine is set to insert a file name. There's lots of options you could have it set to the footer, but you could have it, I've put my cursor over here to show you. But if we wanted to insert the page number, it would do that. If we wanted to insert the path and the file name, which is what you're going to have to do on the exam, you would click on that. And right now it's just set to be at the left section of the page. If we go back to page and we want it to center on the page horizontally and vertically, then always print preview, because that'll show you what it's going to look like. And so on the exam, I believe I have you not centering vertically, but I do have you centering it horizontally. So if you print preview that, it'll be up at the top of your page. And if you go to File, Print, it'll also show it to you here, and yours will have your file name and path down at the bottom. All right, I think I've covered everything that you're going to have to know how to do for the final. Let me go over one more topic. If you had to take the times formula, if you wanted to take quarter 1 times 4, then you could do a formula by going to typing in equals. This is the formula. You take this, the times symbol is the asterisk, remember? Times this, and then hit enter, and it would give you your answer down there. So the little asterisk is times. All right, so if you go to print here, one option, and which we haven't talked about, that you can save it as a PDF after you've saved it as an exam file, but you can also